What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be trying out some Shadow Sealeo in the Open Great League. This Pokemon was one of the biggest buffs that we've seen in this season. It's an Ice-type Pokemon, right? But it's also an Ice and Water-type, meaning it's an Ice-type not weak to Steel, not weak to Fire, and it's got some great pacing having access to Body Slam and a great nuke move with Surf. Powder Snow is such an efficient attack. A lot of people do disrespect Ice-type damage for some reason, even still, after the Powder Snow buff, and it pairs very well with Shadow Malamar as well as Unova and Stunfisk. Really quick, before we get into the battles, I want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. Shadow Sealeo into Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Now, if this is on the new Chilling Water moveset, I actually hard wall them, so they probably have to switch out. And they actually do swap into a Shadow Sableye. Okay. Well, this is looking pretty good for us. They actually don't even throw a Foul Play first, so I get to deny them a Shadow Claw. Big Surf comes through. It gets a shield. And I mean, honestly, I don't need switch advantage as much as they do this game. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot here. They're at 7, so 2 past the Foul Play. Or maybe they can Gleam us if they want to. No, they just go for the Foul Play. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I can actually survive this and go for back-to-back Mud Bombs here. And that should put us in a pretty good spot. There's a chance they can catch the second move on their Alolan Ninetales, which is fine if they end up going for that, because, I mean, at that point, I can just bring back in my Sealeo and hard-wall them even still. And if they don't do that, then, I mean, I just knock out the Sableye. Okay, looks like they're gonna either use a shield here to try to flip switch, which is fine if they do that, or they're gonna just end up letting this go and I win switch and shield. Okay, well, I'll take it. We did desync the switch clock, though, so I'll wait a second here to bring in my Sealeo just to make sure that if they switch out to something I want to switch into my Malamar for, I can match it. And, yeah, like, what the heck, like a Raikou comes in, you know, I'd want to be able to swap out of that. Raikou's actually kind of a cool Pokemon, but it is very squishy, right? It's a pick here that's not going to be able to do too much damage to us unless they land a charge attack. So I can just go here for the Foul Play. I'm pretty sure that Raikou is going to struggle to even get another move off after the one they're about to throw. It should be 3-2, 3-2 pacing. Oh, well, they let that go. Okay. I'm going to go just straight for a Foul Play, which might be a bad play, but it could also be a pretty good play for us here, because by going for this, I put them into range where Body Slam knocks them out, and I don't let them farm us down super easily. They actually just let that go straight up. Interesting. Yeah, we'll let this go just in case they are running Dazzling Gleam on this Ninetales, which, I mean, is still an option. I don't think it's really a bad play necessarily, but it's definitely a play that I wouldn't expect to see too many of them running. We'll Body Slam before they can Chilling Water us, just to make sure I do the most amount of damage possible. And even if they do throw a Chilling Water here, I'm pretty sure my next Body Slam knocks out. And obviously, if they're on Chilling Water, they don't really have an easy way to knock us out in the first place. Shield this up just in case it is a Psyshock or a Dazzling Gleam. But I would have expected if they did have that moveset, they would have probably played this game a little bit differently. It actually is Psyshock. Okay, well, that could have been bad. That actually could have been really bad if I didn't have a shield there. But we have the shield, we have the Body Slam, and the Ninetales does not have any health left, so we win. Alright, Shadow Sealeo into a Charjabug. Alright, don't try this at home, but I'm going to bring in my Malamar into the Bug type. Mainly because this matchup is not as bad as you'd think it would be. I'm going to go here for the Foul Play. I think I might have lagged a turn, so I had to throw in really bad timing there. I had to throw one before I wanted to. But just guaranteeing this lands before they can swap out, I think is going to be a good thing. Oh, wow. They just have a Wigglytuff in the back, which is not surprising here. But it's also, it is a little bit disappointing. But I'm happy I landed that Foul Play before they ended up swapping out. That Foul Play damage actually put them basically into Body Slam range. And they let us land that Superpower here too. So this is just Powder Snow downrange at this point. Interesting. I should be able to come out of this here with a Body Slam now on my Sealeo. And there's a chance I could go for a catch with my Ufisk at some point too against that Charjabug. But I am a little bit concerned if it's like a ground type in the back here. It definitely could be, right? I would not be all that surprised. Oh, they actually bring in... Okay, that's not a ground type, at least not in the common sense. I was not expecting them to bring in a Dunsparce here, though. I probably should have just stayed in Sealeo, because Sealeo into Dunsparce, much better than Sealeo into the Charjabug. A little bit surprised they brought this in here, but it's still playable, because the fast move pressure here with the rollouts doesn't really do that much to my Dunsparce. And my Mud Bombs will add up over time, so we'll see what we can do. They have the next Drill Run ready to go. Big Mud Bomb, big no shield by them. Makes sense. I can't shield this up because I want to save a shield for my Sealeo, just in case we need to land another move with that thing. And I'm still outside of range, where I'd get knocked out by a single move from this Dunsparce. Or from the Charjabug. But they do end up throwing instantly here. I was hoping I'd go for like one more fast move and then catch. But they actually ended up going just instantly for the attack to guarantee my final shield. Which is a good play by them, but this game is definitely not over yet. Right? We have energy on our Sealeo. They actually survived that move. Okay. If I survive this well enough to get to 2 Mud Bombs, I think I win the game. Yeah, I definitely survive well enough here for that. But the next question's going to be, do they instantly X-Scissor us? And then if they do X-Scissor us, will I have the energy to be able to reach 2 Body Slams on my Sealeo? Okay, they do instantly throw here. Smart play by them. But I have the energy left over on my Sealeo for a reason. We just gotta hope at this point. Yeah. I have my next Body Slam here after 2 more Powder Snows. And I believe there's still 2 more Volt Switches away from their next move. So I should be able to avoid the catch as long as I watch correctly. Okay, well, I definitely can if I don't have the move yet. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. That was a very scary team, but I guess somehow able to just barely come out on top. Alright, next battle. We'll see Shadow Sealeo into Shadow Kanto Marowak. There we go, that's a beautiful lead. We'll see if they want to stay in or not. Because technically they can do some neutral damage to us. Okay, it's a Volt Switch Forretress, actually. Which I would say is good for Ufisk, but it's not necessarily amazing. Just because they have Earthquake likely. I've seen some crazy movesets, though, in the past. I saw a Mirror Shot Forretress in previous seasons, which I don't really think was the play. But I also saw a Sand Tomb Forretress, which I also don't think is the play, but I think it would be more likely. But it likely could just be Earthquake. Wait, they Rock Tomb? Like, no matter what they have, that's kind of a crazy move to throw, unless it is Mirror Shot. Huh. Well, maybe they're going for a Rock Tomb to survive easier here, then they're going to Earthquake me after the fact, but do I not survive an Earthquake from this range? I feel like I still would. We'll see, though. I guess we'll no-shield this and figure it out. We've seen a Marowak and a Forretress, though, so what are the odds? They Rock Tomb again, wow. What are the odds it's a Basti in the back? I feel like the odds of that are way higher than I'd like to admit, but we'll see. Big Rock Tomb, yeah. I don't know what their moveset is, but they are just Rock Tombing us. Honestly, I think I just switched to my Sealeo here. If it is a Basti in the back, Sealeo still has play into it with Surf. And if it's not a Basti in the back, then, I mean, Sealeo likely just has play into it inherently anyway. Okay, yeah, there's the Basti. But here's the thing, as I said, I have Surf ready to go against this. I have my Malamar that's neutral enough against that Basti that I should be in a pretty, or the Marowak rather, that I should be in a pretty good spot. Alright, Big Surf again being thrown. We'll see if they want to shield this up or not. I would imagine they're just going to sacrifice Bastiodon, though. They know I have so much energy left over. They shield that, actually. I think that's insane. Wait. Not only do they shield it, they throw energy? Do they not remember that I saved about 100 energy on my Ufisk? That's fine by me. Okay, I guess I saved like 1.5 moves. Not quite 100 energy, but you know, you get the point. I saved all the energy here for a reason. Just because I figured a Basti was pretty likely the third Pokemon. Oh no, Marowak. Good thing I have a switch button ready. Yeah, I think we're fine. We can go for the foul play. This likely doesn't knock them out if they let it go, but if they do let it go, they're going to be way too low on this Pokemon to get much done against our Ufisk later on. And they do actually just shield that up. Interesting. Well, we'll shield this up. And at this point, we should be able to just win this game straight up. We'll double shield if they get that next Bone Club off, which, I mean, yeah, they're already at it right now. But then Basti is going to have to try to smack down all the way down against my Malamar. but it's not going to happen. Straight up, they're not going to have enough energy on that Basti here, or HP, to do what they need to. I'm just going to Foul Play immediately, not even take that next Mud Slap, just to avoid the farm down as much as I can here. Foul Play should get the knockout. Yeah, now Basti, they'll have to throw energy to knock me out here, and by the time they get a second move, I just had another Mud Bomb on my other guy, so nice. Alright, there we go. Next battle. Shadow Sealeo into Swampert. Interesting. I guess it's probably not a bad lead for us, but they do have Sludge. Maybe even Earthquake if they're running a spicier moveset. And Mudshot here does add up quite a bit. Okay, that was only 5. We know that's a Sludge. We survived this. If I get rid of this Swampert, I'm hoping my Ufisk in the backline is going to be just a bit more playable. Okay, yeah, Sludge actually does a sizable amount of damage to us here. Basically a 2-shot, right? But I think I'm fine going down his shield if I need to win the 0 shield matchup. Yeah, Surf comes through. They do end up letting that go, which is fine. I can come out of this basically with a full Surf loaded, so I might as well shield. Keep the Sealeo around. If they're staying in here, I have to imagine they're not super strong against Sealeo this game. Oh, wow. Morpeko, normally a very annoying Pokemon to see, and don't get me wrong, very annoying for my team, but since I'm going to win Switch Advantage here, I should be in a pretty good spot. They shield the Body Slam. That's not ideal for them. And they throw almost immediately. Likely a Psychic Fangs, but I guess if they wanted, they could ramp up with an Aura Wheel. But I feel like... Oh, okay, they actually do. I was going to say, I feel like that's unlikely for them to do, but... No, that is what they go for. So they're at 1. And they're boosted on their attack stat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This might be an absolutely insane play, but I feel like if they're staying in here, they're likely going to Aura Wheel us. And I feel like, likely, because Swampert was their lead, they're not super strong against Ufisk in the backline. But I don't necessarily love shielding against this Pokemon. When I have a Cradily, or Malamar rather, in the back. They have Cradily, though, as their final Pokemon. Which, that is not terrible for us, actually. We have Superpower, we have Psywave damage, and they're on Bullet Seed. So they're actually really prepared here against our Ufisk. 3. Alright. But I can get back-to-back superpowers here, which should be enough to put them into Mud Bomb range. And then I should be fine. 4. Nice, and we got the CMP here too. I was kind of worried that maybe if I went for a CMP and they overfarmed, they could maybe farm us down. But I also knew that their best way to win this game is if I just didn't get that superpower off, and they had to hope that I wouldn't reach it. They had to hope they could just snipe us down. But we land that move. And now at this point, I mean, I just Mud Bomb this, and I Mud Bomb the Morpeko, and that should be a win. Yeah, they should be in Mud Bomb range here. And that Morpeko's pretty low too at this point. At least low enough that a Mud Bomb one-shots. They might have closed their game here. They might not be too happy with my Ufisk in the back. Yeah, don't do this, trainers. Don't close your game when you lose. Lose with dignity. Use the top left button, or, I don't know. Don't do this. Don't close your app. That's a bad idea. Eventually, this move will knock out, and we'll get the win against this trainer. There we go. You know, that's what Morpeko users deserve, I'm not gonna lie. Next battle, we'll see Shadow Sealeo into Shadow Talonflame. Oh boy, okay. Not a bad lead, but also, my Ufisk is preferred here, I'd have to say. But I think Sealeo's bulky and spammy enough to not just get 2 shield incinerated down, which is somehow a rare feat in this meta. Shadow Talonflame is just ridiculous with its damage. They shield that. And they actually end up going for the extra Incinerate here, which is kind of interesting. A lot of the time, you end up seeing the Talonflame users go for the instant throw there to make it so they don't have to double shield before I get that next move off, but no, they actually do that. I'm going to let this go, which could be a little bit of a bad play, but I feel like it's not. I feel like 2 Shield Shadow Malamar is going to be pretty fun in the back. I'll bring in Ufisk. They're going to be able to Flame Charge us, and it's a +1 Flame Charge, which will hurt quite a bit, but I feel like Ufisk is pretty useless when there's a Talonflame in the lead, So I'm fine just kind of taking this damage and trying to farm down if possible. Do 5 Thunder Shocks do it? No. I'm actually going to switch here. I'll take an Incinerate in the process, but I guarantee I save the energy on my Ufisk. Well, okay. Actually, I should not be going for a Foul Play into the Fairy Dark type, but I didn't want to debuff myself. It's a Morgrim that comes in. I don't know what I'm doing. How do you deal with a Morgrim? Honestly, I bet a Superpower basically knocks out here anyway, but this is unexpected. This is very unexpected. I don't know what to do against this Pokemon. Wow, okay. Well, we have the Foul Play into the Superpower combo play that we can go for. Surely, this knocks out. I know it's squishy, but it's not as squishy as Grimmsnarl, so... Yeah, no, not quite enough. We get the farm down. What's in the back? Oh, baby! Okay. Oh! That's not even what I thought it was! That's an Aegislash. Okay. We kind of got bailed out there in the backline, I'm not gonna lie. The Morgrim... insane. The Aegislash, though... we'll take that. We'll take that. 4-1 set, nonetheless. Alright, next battle. Shadow Sealeo into Shadow Talonflame. Alright, once again, we'll see what we can do here. Last time we saw this, there was a Morgrim Aegislash backline, which I'm going to be honest, did not expect that. I would imagine that we're not going to see another one of those. But I didn't imagine I'd see a single one of those today in the first place, so we'll see, we'll see. Oh, they let that go? I think that's a massive misplay. Although it will get a shield advantage for them. But I guess, you know, they probably switch out now, right? Surely. Oh, they fly us? Okay. So yeah, they probably swap. And a Furret comes in. I don't have a great Furret answer. But I have a Shadow Malamar. And sometimes that's all you can really ask for. But I still have my Sealeo around, which is pretty good against a lot of things in the game. I'm going to go for the Foul Play here, just in case they end up shielding this. That way I don't debuff myself and put myself into farm down range. But if they do no shield, then they will survive this, right? Okay, they do shield that up, so good thing I didn't debuff myself. Okay, they're actually letting us get a second superpower off, which either is going to guarantee a shield or a knockout. I'm kind of surprised they would do that. Wow, okay. They do have a lot of energy here. I will give them that. But I can probably just absorb it on Stunfisk. Because I think Stunfisk is going to be remarkably useless this game. I'm hoping they're on Brick Break, but it's likely going to be a Trailblaze coming through. Yeah, Trailblaze. So I'll take quite a bit more damage than I'd like here. They'll get a second one off, even. Not if they try to go for a catch, I guess. I kind of figured a catch was going to happen there, because, you know, why wouldn't you at that point? Whoa. They bring in the Stunfisk? Okay, well, this is good. At least it's not a, I don't know, a Mud Slapper to hard counter me here. But that is going to take a lot of damage here from all of my Mud Bombs. 5, alright. I mean, if they end up going for the instant Mud Bomb here, which they probably should, then I think I just let that go and come in with my Sealeo. And if they don't, then I just Mud Bomb and try to win CMP, which is what ends up happening. Yeah, alright. This game should be over now. I just stay in here, force them to go for a Swift or a Trailblaze to knock us out, and then I go for a Body Slam or a Water Pulse. Or a, no, it's Surf on our Sealeo. And that should be game. Shield this up just to force a second move out of them, if they even have enough for that. They Trailblaze, so yeah, that's a lot of energy down the drain for them. We have the Mud Bomb ready to go. And that is a win, once again against the Shadow Talonflame lead. Luckily, it wasn't the Morgrim in the back. I'm glad we didn't see another one of those. That was crazy to see even one. Alright, next battle. We'll see Shadow Sealeo into the Shadow Drapion. Not a bad lead, but it is a little bit like, I wouldn't say bait dependent, but it could be if they want to go for like an Aqua Tail bait to try to outpace us in the future. I'm going to shield the first attack, just because I feel like it's almost a guaranteed crunch. There's no way they don't go for that, right? Yeah. Big crunch. No debuff, love to see that. Okay. I mean, I have a better way to deal with that Drapion with my Ufisk, so I think I'm fine just staying in here and spamming out all my Body Slams. I would imagine they're not running Crunch, but, you know, they could be. They definitely could be. It's not the craziest moveset in the game. They're at 5 right now, so they have a Hydro Cannon right now. But even a Crunch, I do survive. They let that go? So I get a full farm down here. And I'm pretty sure that's only a Hydro Cannon they're throwing into us. It is Shadow into Shadow, so it will still hurt despite being resisted, but yeah, we do survive that. We get a full farm down. And I guess we'll see what they bring in. Drapion comes back in, okay. I know I went for a straight-up Body Slam, which they probably know. I know that for sure. You know, it's only a Body Slam, but it would still do a lot of damage. I might even get a second one. Oh my goodness, Sealeo. What a menace, man. Survives long enough to get a final Body Slam off. But they do have a lot of energy now on this thing. But here's what I'm thinking. They've already shown two things pretty weak to our Stunfisk, which likely means the final Pokemon, whatever it is going to be good into it. So I'm fine taking the Aqua Tails here. And then potentially having my Shadow Malamar in the backline as a way to close it out. They might try to go for a catch here on a Mud Bomb. Which, like, if they do, it would be on, like, a flying type. So I think I'm going to go for a Discharge. It should be enough to knock them out either way. And just in case it is, like, a flying type in the back, I want to go for that. They actually don't catch. So I should have just gone for the Mud Bomb. But I'm pretty sure this is still going to be enough. And if there is a flyer in the back, we'll deal with it when we get there. Oh my goodness. It's a Galarian Moltres. They just said, Ufisk does not exist with this team. Shadow Drapion, Galarian Moltres, Feraligatr. I guess that's a team you can run. That's like a kind of a classic team, actually. But after that discharge, they're going to be in superpower range. Okay, well, that was a strange one. Shadow Sealeo into Florges. All right. This is, I don't even know. Is this good? It's probably not bad, because they have to go for Trailblaze here, right? And Powder Snow's a pretty efficient attack. We can see the fast move pressure here is adding up quite a bit against them. They're at 8. Man, the fact they didn't instantly throw almost makes me wonder if they're running a move like Moonblast rather than Trailblaze. But they shield the first move as well. Man, I'm honestly really confused right now. I'm still going to let this go, though, because I don't get one-shot by anything. A Moonblast would hurt quite a bit, and that actually is what they throw. So that is a little bit scary. But you know what I think about them Moonblasting me is, you know what? It's a lot of energy. They can do what they want. Oh my goodness. Wait, that's actually huge. That is huge for us. So we land the Surf? Okay. Well, I'm fine letting this go down then. Getting the Fairy type out of the way, in theory, is going to open up my Malamar in the back line. So we'll bring it in here, get a Psywave energy lead. We're up a Shield as well. We've taken out a Fairy type. People do not run 2 Fairy types, right? Okay, thank goodness they actually did not have a second one in the back here. Although Stunfisk is not the best Pokemon for Malamar to see, just because they can outpace us. If I had 2 Psywaves of an energy lead, I'd actually be able to outpace to the second move, but I only got 1. So they can get to 2 Mud Bombs here before I can get my second move off. But that's why our shield advantage is hopefully going to come into play. I can go here for the no-shield on the first. We know they don't have very high damaging attacks, so I can survive pretty comfortably on that first one. They'll go for the move right now, and I can just shield this up. And if they shield the next, I can shield the next, and maybe even just farm down after the fact, if they do end up shielding this matchup. I'm actually, wait, how am I at back-to-back foul plays? They might have lagged a turn, or something, because I should be 1 away right now from my next foul play, but that's fine. Okay, they let that go. Okay, Gourgeist in the back. I actually think I see a way to win this game, despite how bad this is. If I get knocked out by the next Incinerate, right, then I don't get my foul play off. Actually, I think I survived the Incinerate. Okay, well, I don't. Actually, I'm so bad. I needed to do 3 there. I thought I'd survive that move. I'm so bad. I needed to do 3, swap out, save the energy, and do like another 3 later on. I don't know why I thought I'd survive that Incinerate. I guess I'm just bad. That probably is a loss. Okay, well, that's not great by me. Yeah, they just get to 3 Seed Bombs here. That's on me. That is so on me. I don't even know what to say. Alright, next battle. Shadow Sealeo into Shadow Annihilape. Oh boy. Don't love to see that. I'm going to switch into my hard answer, though. I think I kind of have to either guarantee an instant swap by them, or to get a lot of Psywave damage, I guess. Wow. They bring in an Azumarill here. Okay. Azumarill is not the best answer to Malamar in the game, but it is a good way to absorb my energy, so we'll see how this is going to go. 5, 6, 7. I got a lot of Psywave damage into that Annihilape, which is good. But this Azumarill is still absorbing my damage more than I like. 7 right now. If I can, should I try to go for an Ice Beam catch? Oh, they play rough. I'm going to go for it still. I think if they have Ice Beam, they throw it here anyway. And if they don't, that's fine. Play rough is still going to be thrown into this instead. Yeah, they must be on Hydro Pump, I guess. Interesting moveset. Oh, they let us get this off. Interesting. So Surf is going to get his shield here from them. I do have a lot of energy on my Malamar, but they'll have a lot of energy here themselves. Are they at back-to-back Rage Fists? I think they're pretty close to it. So I'm going to go for the play where I actually just come in with my U-Fisk instead, just to drain a Rage Fist out of them. And then we'll see what they want to do. I'm going to shield this up, which could be a bad play. But it is an Ice Punch, so it's not that bad of a play. Oh boy, okay, well that is a bad play. That did a lot of damage to us, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I'd only take one counter. Taking the second is actually pretty bad. Okay, but we land that. And we land this. It's a Lickitung once again as the final Pokemon. So I need to basically get to 4 Mud Bombs here, right? That's the win condition. It's not gonna happen. Oh, man. Okay. Well, there might have been a way to win this game, but I think even if yeah, I just don't have the energy here. Even if I didn't take that final counter, I think this Lickitung probably would have routed us down before a third, like, foul play or anything, but maybe I would have just got that Psywave damage, and maybe that's all I would have needed. Because 3 Mud Bombs is not enough, but potentially, if I had the extra energy, it would have been, or the extra damage, rather, with my Malamar, it could have been. Yeah, double Body Slam probably will be just enough to knock us out. And even if it's not, they can go for the Shadow Ball. Yeah. GG. That was... Honestly, I almost had a win con there, but taking that extra counter definitely hurt out our Malamar in that matchup. Alright, next opponent. Shadow Sealeo into Florges. We saw one of these earlier. We'll see what their moveset is. Because, again, it could be Trailblaze, it could be Moonblast or Disarming Voice. It really depends on what their team is and what they want the coverage for. They caught... Oh, I guess that's a nice catch, actually, on a Jellicent of all things. I don't love that Jellicent just came in here, but I can bring in my Malamar, and we should be able to be in a pretty decent spot here either way. 5. I'm actually going to shield this up, which might be an insane play. Oh, they do Shadow Ball, nice. But the reason I wanted to shield that up is because, if we're being honest, that Florges is going to struggle to knock out Malamar unless they do have a Fairy-type attack. So, by keeping our Malamar healthy, I think this is going to make it kind of uncomfortable for that Florges. They instantly throw? I bet I survive a Disarming Voice from this range. I definitely survive a Chilling Water. I went for the instant throw because, honestly, I thought I'd win CMP in the moment, but yeah, that was a stupid thing to do. I should have remembered that that is literally impossible. But I can just switch out now, and I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, they're staying in. I get the Body Slam off. And I save some energy and HP still on my Malamar, which I'm pretty sure is going to be more useful in the backline than it is here. Yeah, just no shield this at this point. And we'll see what their final Pokemon's going to be. They do Trailblaze. Okay. That answers that question, I guess. I think I'm just going to sacrifice my Sealeo here. I could have gone for... I could go for a shield and farm down. You know, honestly, if they're staying in, I'm going to. I know they're going to debuff us, but, like... I feel like just keeping my Lickitung, or my Sealeo around, rather, is going to be helpful. And they bring in a Lickitung. I have 2 Body Slams. I think I can just save one of these, yeah. Which is going to be pretty nice. I'm going to go instantly for the foul play. That way we guarantee a shield here, or a lot of damage. And Ufisk is pretty good into Licky unless they're running Earthquake. And at this point, even if they are on Earthquake, because I have that Body Slam loaded in the back and I've already landed one Body Slam into them, they should be in range where I can just knock them out straight up with another one. Nice undercharge by them. Is that going to give them 3 rollouts? It actually is. That's a really nice undercharge by them. But all we need is one Mud Bomb plus a Body Slam, and that should be enough. Yeah, they were hoping for like maybe a Jellicent or something in the back line, but no, we had the Ufisk, so we get the win. Shadow Sealeo is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon in this current season. It can be a little bit hard to find pairings with it just because fighters are still around. There's things out there that can be a little bit annoying for it, but its flexibility in general is just so strong, and it's a very fun Pokemon to use. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.